pieces of my life fall into place, freeing obstacles that prevent my quiet time.
One more.
Each day I make time to complete my energy work. I recognize hidden opportunities for meditation. The pieces of my life fall into place, freeing obstacles that prevent my quiet time.
Good job.
Yay, good job, guys. So, Steph, this week we get into, which we were just going over, we'll get into the tearing, stirring, and brushing.
Yes.
So,
Tearing is the best.
I want to
I
know
know.
if you've done the tearing.
I forget, is
in
this
your practice.
stirring clockwise?
Yes.
Yeah.
The stirring's clockwise, okay.
And they mean to ask, does that mean top down, front view,
Right.
what? You know, because there's two sides of your foot, two sides of your hand. Since he says from the palm, clockwise, I think that means this way no matter what. So looking at this way, clockwise, I assume. And then he says looking at the bottom of your foot, clockwise on the heel.
Okay, so we're going to do that on our base chakra, so we're going to be stirring that way. About the size of the palm of your...
Isn't it one way and then the other?
What's that?
Isn't it both ways? Don't you
That's
do
what I
one?
did.
Yeah,
I
you
don't-
change.
Yeah.
Do you want to
So-
do the other? So it doesn't really matter.
So
what you
yeah,
start
so
with.
that's
It doesn't really matter, so...
In this particular case.
Okay. And then the brushing, which we kind of talked about, I feel like brushing it back and forth, brushing your chakra. And then the tearing action,
Bring me a towel.
bringing a towel, taking some bread, and
Oh,
ripping the
Like
bread.
this.
Well, Juice is bringing a towel, but yeah, we
Yeah,
imagine.
Yeah. Grab it, pull it apart.
Pull it apart,
Oh, yeah.
stretch.
Good stuff.
Mhm.
That's fun.
You get to rip apart your chakras.
Chakra shred.
Alright. Does anybody have any questions before we start tearing our...
You sure you want to do this?
Oh, Juice's neighbors are enjoying this.
I know.
The liability waiver is on.
And I mentioned before, you'll know when you start to activate it by it tingling, throbbing, or feeling a heavy or localized pressure in that area.
Yeah, like a pulsing. That's usually what you
And then we also do some energy raising upward leg sweeps too during that process. So we gotta fit that all in 5 minutes. So just kind of work your way through it, stir it a little bit, then brush it, in your mind, then tear it a little bit. And then we're gonna bring the energy into our feet. And so remember we did that sponge earlier on our legs? So we're gonna bring that sponge area one way from our feet all the way up to the base chakra. And this is a good way to do your exercises, get a timer. Yeah. Okay, so let's start sponging the energy from our toes up to our base. And that's between the anus and the genitals. I just ruined it.
Sorry.
Come on, we're professionals here.
Oh, I was trying to be.
Just ruined it.
It's like being back in school.
I've been enjoying the fact that she's laughing more than he is.
Now, here's the thing to learn when we're doing these exercises is learn to block things out. Any external noises, you learn to block them out. This is a good test. Vera, this is perfect.
It's the idea
Perfect
of
test. Right, sponge Vera out. Sponge her out.
Please don't say this two words again.
I won't.
Oh, my stomach hurts. Shakes her husband. Do you see it? He said no, and she said, I see that really beautiful aura on the chicken. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
The chicken. All right, Sandy, you start first.
Okay. My name
Yeah.
is Sandy. I am new to the group, so I've just looked over and just started doing some of the exercises. And then the rest of it too. I have had an OBE a long time ago. And then I've had some questionable ones where I wasn't sure if it was actually an OBE or not. Where I felt like I loved my body, but yet I couldn't really see anything, but I felt the presence of being like out of my body. I would like to finish this course in 90 days if
we get that beginner's one going, right?
yes. And I really do want to be able to have an OBE like on a more regular basis. I've been interested in it in a long time and working on the experience for a long time. I just got discouraged at one point and kind of just let it go, and other things got in the way from my concentration.
Do you have any specific reasons why do you want to have like more frequent experiences?
I guess just to realize that, you know, what I feel about a different realm, or, you know, not being my body, just to confirm that.
See where Vera's at.
Well, my name is my physical realm Vera, but usually thin air, beyond the thin veil I am, or Lileia, how the name came to me. How far? Not too far. It's I'm on my first week due to the circumstances, but that first week is a very full of OBEs. You know, after our first meeting, as I said, you know, I had almost, I call them spontaneous because I was doing some other practice and the OBEs, you know, I had OBEs out of it. And one of the practice, I mentioned earlier, it's Abraham Hicks. They do the like tornado when you put stuff. Vortex. Thank you. I was actually imagining vortex, and like very first thing when I feel that I'm already awake, and I actually felt the vibrations, and I started imagining vortex and like sending love and whatever I want my day to be filled, and suddenly I can start feeling that I'm separating. So it was two things at the same time. Yeah, it was pretty exciting. So you know, few was very short. Interesting thing, like the day it's happened multiple times. It was very interesting. And what I noticed, the more you train, the easier it becomes, and it's so like a second nature it becomes for me. For example, I remember very first time when it happened, I heard lots of like loud noises and stuff, and right now I'm actually experiencing just vibration. I notice that at a certain state when I'm just woke up in the morning and I feel my body kind of like still fluid and like soft and kind of like almost like jittery sensation going on in the whole body. And at this point I precisely know what it is. You know, if you asked me like a year earlier, I would be like, what the heck? But right now I exactly can pinpoint what it is. So, and from this point, you know, I was able to, you know, in vortex actually happens, you know, I literally kill 2 rabbits in one shot. I did my vortex and I did the OBE at the same time. So that was very exciting. But last few nights I'm sleeping so tightly. From the exercises, I do my affirmations and my meditation. like daily, actually maybe a few times a day meditation, which is very helpful. And I'm reading literature on OBEs, which just helps to, you know, for all this stuff. So
Part of the bonus on there.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. Yes, I plan to finish 90 days. How badly? At this point for me it's just fun because I know I concluded certain things for myself, you know, having OBs. You know, I'm like a teenager who learned to drive at this point. I was like, so I'm kind of navigating. I know how to hold the wheel. I know how to sit in the car and adjust my mirrors. I'm like right now testing the water and see what could be done. So, and that's about it for me.
How far have we gone? Maybe the second week, but if I read a little bit ahead, like if I glance through it, I think I'm far ahead in that way. And just to address what she was saying, so my experience has been the same. I think about 15 years ago, the first time, I didn't know it was OB again, the same thing. I had no clue that it was it. I was taking a nap. I was actually expecting my firstborn. And the next thing I know in the afternoon is I'm standing by the bedroom door. And I'm looking at the bedroom, and then I see myself sleeping on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And for a minute, I thought it was a dream. And the second thing, when I looked at it, I know that was me sleeping. And the minute I got scared, same experience, I got pulled in. And I know that which felt for a long time, I was paralyzed. I tried to move, I couldn't move. I had to literally give up, and that's when I kind of came into my body. And I know that it wasn't a dream because I double checked. I got up and I said, was this a dream? But it didn't feel like a dream. And then I saw where my husband had left his coffee cup was exactly there. The way I could see it, the windows, the way the light was falling, and there's no way I could know all of those things. You know, like where something was scribbled and the receipt next to me, I still remember. And I remember telling my husband, something happened today, I don't know what it is, but something happened, and I know it wasn't a dream. But somehow, after that, I completely forgot about it. You know, obviously became a mother, I got busy doing stuff. And then we were in India a couple of years ago, just this like 3 years ago, when my husband was traveling to the US. So I would have the kind of the nights and the evenings to myself, which I enjoy. I said, I'll start meditating again. You know, it's quiet. It's different when you have somebody with you in the room. You don't get into that space. So I said, I'll start meditating. And I started meditating. And boom, I started feeling this. I can feel it rising from here. It's the same thing. There's no shaking, but it's an aeroplane sound. That's what it is. It's like the engine going, and I can see it starting. Goes here, but this time now, I think the memory from that many years ago came back. And I just kind of came out. I could see myself here, and my body was here. And of course, I'm alone in the house, so I just go back. Okay, and now I think, okay, now this is not a dream. When I came out of it, and I said, I know I experienced it. And I woke up and I was alone. And I said, I have to look at what is this and why is this happening? Because I don't read it in the meditation manuals at all about this experience. You're supposed to be calm and you know, feel the joy and everything. But that's not happening. I'm like, what's happening? And then, but I don't know whether I did the right thing or not. But I think that's actually blocking me. The thing that I did is went on Google, which I always actually now say, don't do that. If you have a headache, you go to Google, you end up having a brain tumor, you know? I mean, that's how much information is out there. You don't want to actually read all that. And I just did that. I went and started looking, and then of course the first, second site was very exciting because it actually proved to me that it was, what I was feeling was actually real because they had all the symptoms written in the sequence that I was feeling it. And I said, oh my God, this is what it is. And then I wanted to know whether is it good, bad? I mean, is it supposed to be how it's supposed to? You know, sometimes, you know, like I come from, obviously from India, and the culture is like we tend to believe that yoga done in a certain way is good. But when you start doing yoga as exercise, power within 5 minutes, it's not meant for that.
Right.
So I want to make sure this is what you need to do. I don't want to do it for the wrong reasons. So I said, I'll just let it be, and if it comes to me, then it comes to me. And of course, I, like a mad woman, keep talking all the time to my universe and my inner self. So I said, okay, if it comes to me, then you're sending it. I'm not asking for this. And then next day again, boom, I started feeling this. And I had a lot of questions, and I started. So one thing that I wanted to address her thing was last time when I came here and I got comfortable. So I have to put myself in that space. But I feel if you are comfortable, happy, and in the receiving mode, that is when it happens joyfully. Otherwise, it doesn't happen for some reason. And I also feel if you analyze it a lot, it doesn't happen. You just have to feel it.
Sorry,
Just have to feel it. The minute
Don, let yourself go.
Full of resistance.
You gotta let yourself go.
Yeah, when I calculate or I'm thinking, is this the right way or the wrong way? I just don't feel anything. But if I just feel, and next thing I know, within 2 minutes, you're there. And the last one, I said, I'm going to take the leap of faith. I'm going to take the leap of faith. I'm going to do it. And I felt it, and I actually know I came out. It was dark, and I had that dark shadow next to me. Exactly. I had that shadow next to me. It just freaked me out. I just went back in.
Yep.
And that night, before sleeping, I put the intention out saying, you know what, I can't do this alone. I just can't. It's not worth it. I might just give up, and then I'll come to you at the end after I die, and then you will be, I'll blame you because I also follow Abrahamics a lot, and I truly believe that it has to be fun. This doesn't have to be a painful or a stressful journey. So if it is meant to be, it'll come in joy. And I said, okay, so what's my next step if I can't do it alone? And again, the impulse, and I know those impulses, and I said, okay, I'm going to look if any other cuckoo is out there like me in Austin, because I'm new here, so we've just been a few months. And
You found us.
I kid you not, I found
Looked
you
for cuckoos and you found them.
And we were in Riata, and then the INACS Institute, like everything is like
Right.
5-7 minutes away. And there's so much coming up. Remember I wrote to you, and every time I search for it, there is so much coming up. And I was like, oh my God, my husband is like, you just got us in the middle of this COVID. And I'm like, yes, it looks like
not an
it.
accident.
Yeah.
It looks like it. So that's what I was asking for. I was asking for company, I think advice, who I can talk to. Maybe it kind of helps, when you're going through this. And I'm almost also asking for an OB partner. I'm just putting it out there. Because if I can't do it alone, I need somebody to be with me, and hopefully. So ideally, I would want my spiritual guide to be there for me when I get out there, because that would be like the best. But if not, while doing it, I'm thinking if I had another person with me, that might help. And then that'll also happen when the time is right. But this is exciting.
Right.
This is really exciting. That's why I'm here. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Week 4, I've gone ahead a little bit and worked on the various energy centers, as they call it, because I'm probably going to have to miss a few days later on. So, that's it.
Thanks, Larry.
Jason, I'm on day 22. I'll just finish up with you guys. Do I answer the other questions again?
No.
Are you doing updates?
So if today's 22, then I'm Stephanie, and I'm day 20. So I'm going to do 21 today and 22 tonight, and then stay on the ball. So I was at a very exciting game jam. So the only thing that can take me away from reading the book and this process is virtual reality. So it was worth it. So dreams. I had 4 memorable dreams back to back to back by taking a huperzine A vitamin the night before. And then I didn't sleep the next night at all. And the 29th, I had a short dream, and the second dream, I think, I didn't take anything that time. And then short dreams here and there. So that was interesting. 4 as an abundance for me, because they weren't, none of these were like impactful, wildly interesting dreams. They were just 4 different dreams, but that's a lot. That's a lot of time to record stuff. So I think the huperzine had influence on that. I think it's a vitamin that's meant to help Alzheimer's with memory. So memory is a big deal with this program. If you don't remember your dreams, you'll probably forget your OBs also. And if you want to try out supplements, no problem at all.
Is it over countertop?
Huh?
Over
Yeah.
the countertop?
Over the counter. Yep.
Yeah.
I guess that's there's nothing really specific. What
You remember the name of the one that kept you up?
I was trying to Biloba.
Sounds right.
Yeah,
Something like that.
So I
Not-
took
not
huperzine
ego.
on the 27th, and that was neat. And then the next day, I would notice that Jason had left these focus pills in the bathroom, and I'm like, "What's this? That's neat. I need to focus this weekend." So I took this pill, and I didn't sleep that night, and I didn't feel it. I didn't mind. It was so weird. And then the next night, like, okay, let's do this again. And I did sleep because I thought I should, but I didn't go into deep sleep. I was in this kind of daydream state. Maybe I fell into a few dreams here and there, but pretty much daydream state for like 4 hours straight. And last night I got about 6 hours of regular sleep, and I did not take anything, and could have slept longer this morning. It was starting to finally catch up on me, but that was very strange. But I can't help but think that this program has a lot to do with that, and it's not just a focus pill. I think it was, and by the way, totally legal, over the counter focus pill. It's vitamin. But I think it was mostly this charge up energy that we've been working on, because I've truly been doing every single day, not skimping like I used to. I have been skipping a few the affirmation sets sometimes, but that's it. Until yesterday, which I had to finally miss a full day, but I'll make it up. Yeah, this stuff is very powerful. It does matter if you do it every day. You do not have to do it every day, but it is significantly more powerful if you do. So this would be the first time we've taken the whole course completely seriously and didn't skip stuff, and I can feel it. I feel more awake in general. I have obviously the ability to stay up for 2 nights in a row and not suffer too bad. And I can much more easily feel my body awareness. Somewhere in here it says, described as rushing water. I think that's a great description for what it feels like when the energy gets strong in your legs, especially your legs. It's not as rough anymore. I've gotten rid of a lot of the little spots that get stuck, the little stuck energy bits in my body. So I'm coursing along. Looking forward to the chakra tearing part.
My name is Juice, and I'm on day 22. And I just got back from a Vegas trip, which I was going to tell you guys about. And it's really tough to do this in Vegas. I had a friend reunion, and I wrote notes in here like, I did stuff at all different times. I was playing poker, I did stuff at the poker table, which you can do some of these exercises anywhere, waiting in line, driving a car, certain things driving a car, you gotta watch what you do driving a car, in line at a checkout. So I did stuff at waiting in line, walking on the Vegas Strip, being at the poker table, waiting to get a good hand. I'd sit there and do energy raising and stuff like that. So it was pretty interesting. I was actually kind of proud of myself. I did one too where you stare at something at a wall and you try to block out all the stuff that was going on in the casino, all the noises and stuff like that. So I was actually pretty proud of myself. I was able to get to that point to block stuff out.
What was your favorite mind taming?
The color.
The color one?
Yeah.
I like the after image one.
The after image is cool too.
I
Yeah.
like that one a lot.
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier today.
You know, since I started doing this, I was concentrated on, you know, on topic of OBE so much. So I probably projected the same feeling to my twin sister. So my twin sister had first OBE. So it was pretty amazing. And she was calling me with a scream like, "That's what you were waiting for me for so long." I said, "What?" She said, "My first OBE." It's fun. Like, we have very strong connection. Since we have been kids, we actually was able to read each other's mind. You know, she would tell me something, and I exactly knew what she said without words. So, and I attribute her having first OBE because I was so entrenched into the practice right now so much. So she was able to have it.
And where's she living right now?
That's-
In
yeah.
Russia,
She's
Still Russia. Okay.
Wow.
over the sea.
Are you taking notes? Are you writing all this down?
Yeah.
Good.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
That is really awesome.
So anyway, it actually just
That
came
is
up
so
to me. I was
cool.
like, you know,
Yeah.
she was very excited because it was she had previously kind of like very something that she didn't know what it was, not as clear as you had, because your stuff is very clear. She had more like you know, sounds, you know, in her ears, but this
Like
was
Russian
that she intentionally. She actually, the funny thing, she used my technique with that tornado thing that I said to you.
Like,
And she said, "Vera, I did exactly what you said, and it's happened." And whatever she was telling to me, I said, "I know what you're telling me because I experienced exactly the same thing." It's interesting because I'm looking back in our lives, and we actually had few things happening exactly at the same time. Exactly at the same time, few things. You know, one day we had like sick nail, you know, on the foot. I was in one part of the country, she was in the other part of the country. She had the sick nail, I had the same sick nail. You know, the other time she was raising a child the same age, I was raising a child the same age. This is like strange things, and right now it's OBE. I'm having OBEs and she's having OBEs. I was like, that's crazy.
Does she know about Michael Raduga?
Yes,
She does?
Yes.
Okay, good.
so.
Now she can understand what's going on maybe.
Yes, yes. Her husband had a spontaneous OB while he was in army, and he is afraid of it so bad. He's so entrenched into these beliefs that he's like, "I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. Don't say it." So, but I'm trying to explain. I said, once you take the power in your hands, once you truly understand how magnificent, how powerful, how amazing being you are, your like world is unlimited. You know, this physical world becomes like truly unlimited. You can create, manifest, whatever. And, you know, like beyond the veil, also obviously you, so much is going to be so much more better, you know, once you transition. But anyway.
Cool, thanks for sharing. That's
Yeah.
awesome. When she comes and visits you, you gotta bring her.
Sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
I will let her go in first, and you'll be like, "Oh, Vera!" So that was happening
That'd
with
be
people
funny.
multiple times. And she was like, "Hi, Juice!" I will like teach her like, "This is Juice, this is
Oh, yeah, so this week, interesting that I had to report was I had a couple of back-to-back false awakenings. So I think what I was doing was like some premeditation, just kind of laying in bed, waiting for Stephanie, I think, to be done with something before we started on Bruce. And I knew it was getting late, and so I got up and went downstairs and told Stephanie, "Hey, we got to hurry up and get going with this." And then I woke up, and then I thought, "Oh man." So I got to do this again. So I went downstairs, told Steph, "Hey, we got to hurry up." And then I woke up again, and I was just kind of in this state where I was just kind of like in and I couldn't really tell if I was dozing off or thinking to myself or sleeping. And that kind of hit home to me that I really need to pick it up more on the dream. I mean, I've been doing the dream journals, but like a little more focus on that and taking that more seriously, because I am starting to get some experiences along that line. But I'm not having a lot of luck with the the protocol for writing down your keywords, and then at the end of the week, trying to remember it all. You know,
Right.
I'm just not getting anywhere with that. So I think what's gonna work better for me, and I'll try it this week, is that I'll write down the keywords, and then in the evening when it's time to go to bed, I'll you know, take those keywords, write out the dream, and that'll help put me in the mentality of, you know, hey, dream recall, and then do the affirmations and take care of it that way. And I'll also try and get a better handle on the all the different supplements, and see if I can just bring a list of, you know, what I got and what she had, and gave her that kind of experience. And the other thing that I managed to get this week, but I haven't had time to really mess with it, is that I got some aromatherapy stuff. So I got some frankincense and some myrrh, and maybe one other that are for meditation. And then on order, I've got essence of mugwort, so it's like, you know, oil. And so I'll try that while I go to sleep, and that'll go for a few hours, and then we'll see if we get anywhere with that. And, you know, do some other experiments where I might, you know, do a wake back to bed, you know, do some more aromatherapy, go back to sleep, and see how that turns out.
Yeah, very nice. Jason. And then when you do the keywords, you're supposed to do it in the morning every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you doing it like waiting at the end of the whole week and then doing it and then doing all?
No, I did the keywords.
You did them. I mean the keywords, but you did the try to remember the dream.
Yeah, do the full write out.
As soon as you wake up, you're supposed to do it.
No, you're not.
No, you're supposed to do keywords. Keywords only when you first wake up, and then Bruce's protocol is at the end of the week. You
Yeah.
take all of your keywords, and then go through each one and write out the full dream if you can remember it. But that's just too much for me right now. My memory isn't up to
okay.
par for that. So I'm thinking, you know, just the day is enough of a lag
Right.
time to try and train my memory a little better.
I was doing it the keywords at night when you wake up from dreams. Then you write the keywords
At night
down.
when you wake up from dreams?
Yeah.
See, we usually wake up in the morning from dreams. You
Well,
well, night shift?
Normal people land.
But yeah, well, if you wake up and you have a dream, you know, you do the keywords, or if it's a really good dream or a lucid dream,
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
write it
you
down.
always do that.
And then when you wake up in the morning, that's what I was doing. Then I was figuring out my keywords and what the dream was.
Oh no,
you know,
keywords
unless
are
I had a
always
dream in the
immediately
morning.
when you wake up.
Yeah,
Always. And so that's another thing that's been kind of throw me a little bit, is that, you know, we don't have our bedroom set up to recording friendly scenario, because we don't have a light nearby.
right.
So I've been kind of cheating and grabbing my phone, which has
Right.
a keyboard, and so I'll flip that and type it if I don't have a, you know, if I'm not going to get up. If I'm getting up for the morning, then I'll go ahead and go to the bathroom and write in there where I have some light. But you need to get some like little lamps or something to kind of like just,
Right.
you know, set the intention, set the, you know, everything up so that it's just real easy.
Larry, is that how you've been doing it too, with the keywords? Are you
Yeah.
waiting at the end of once a week to try to figure out your
I've been
dreams?
doing it at
Or
the
every
end
day?
End of the week.
End of the week?
And in fact, I mean, sometimes I don't even write down the keywords because I just remember. Like this week, I had two that I thought were kind of interesting that were the same thing, but spaced like 2 nights apart even. So I had this dream where I was at a friend's house. There was several people in there. And I looked out the front door, and then there was a car like right on the sidewalk, and just in the front yard. And I thought, oh, that's kind of unusual, you know. And a few days later, another scenario, same sort of thing, at a friend's house. There's a car, you know. So I'm thinking, okay. After 2 of them, I think, yep, that's the vehicle. It's there. Here we are. You know, I'm at the friend's house. The groups are around. You know, people are around, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what that means, you know. But I thought it's like a double reminder. Okay, get
Right.
ready to get in that car and go. You know.
Yeah.
So it's prepared, and it's you know, there and waiting to be used.
Yeah, that's the thing. You kind of program ourselves to take advantage of those situations. Man, that, you know, false awakening should have been like I'm in a perfect state. I'm dozing. I should try some stuff.
Right.
You know, definitely at least try a lucid dream. But you know, I get in that really just kind of groggy morning where, you know, I just don't want to do anything. I don't want to get up.
Yep.
And I want to stay in bed, and so it's hard because for me, if I really get, you know, any kind of detail or start going with, you know, writing stuff down, it will kick me awake, and it's hard for me to get back to sleep once I've done anything that's mentally stimulating.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, cool. That's awesome. What lot of experiences happening. It's very nice to see.